Today on the Chat and Chew Show,
I feel like I can talk to him about most things, and not to keep anything secret, but you know, when I talk to him as if he's female, he don't get it. I don't get what you're saying, you know. Or when I talk to him like this, go around the circle and get it, he'll get it. So that's why I think it's so important that not only are our husbands our friends, but we also have other female friends.
And stay tuned, we're going to be making vegan quesadillas.
Well, hello everyone, and welcome to the Chat and Chew Show. My name is Betty.
My name's Shanell.
And we are super thrilled you're with us today. As you know, the Chat and Chew Show is designed to empower you to do your relationships better. And what relationship can benefit most from this show today is friendship. Now, both Shanell and I, why do I keep saying Shanell? I don't want to call you Shanae or something. I don't know.
Shanell.
Shanell is my daughter-in-law. Her and my son got married a couple months ago. Well, more than a couple months.
Kind of, I don't know. In August.
Oh, Lord. How are we going to forget? They got married 818.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Wow.
And we might drop this baby in 818.
Oh, that's right. And I'm going to be a grandma soon. Yay. I didn't want to tell your stuff, so I'm glad you did. So, how's marriage going?
It's going. It's good. It's
Good.
really good.
So I'm her mother-in-law, but you can be honest. You can be honest with us.
On camera, in front
On
of
camera,
the
in front of the
family.
in
No, everything's great. It's been a lot of transition.
Yeah.
So I think we just been learning each other and learning life, and now we got a baby coming.
I
so
know.
we're just
So you had a big change. You left your hometown. No, you got married in your hometown, left your hometown, came here, moved into a new place, new environment, having a baby, just new married. Girl. And this is so weird. They did kind of the same thing we did. You know, we got married, moved to another town. I wasn't pregnant right away, but still all of the changes. So I'm really impressed.
Yeah,
So we're talking about getting friends. So here you go in a new town. How's that going?
It is what it is. My vague answers. Everything's fine. It's been good. I think I've been taking my time dealing with one transition at a time.
Yeah.
And there's times when I'm like, okay, this is fine. And there's other times where I'm like talking to Kaylin like, everything's new. I can't. It's too much.
Yeah.
But I think I'm learning to give myself grace through all the transitions.
Yeah.
Which is a big lesson I learned from you. Like, chill out. You said it without saying it, but like, calm, girl, sit down.
Calm yourself down.
Drink some water out your Chat and Chew cup.
Right. Oh, by the way.
Right. So yeah, I just been learning how to give myself grace.
Yeah.
And to take my time. And especially being married, one of the biggest things I've learned was that I'm an introvert and I'm sensitive. And so I can't rush into things because it'll be too much. So I have to pace myself.
Yeah. That's good. So she's been married for a couple months. I've been married for over, I always forget, 33 years, y'all. Oh my. 33. Wow. Oh my. And I've learned a few things. And one, like Shanell, she's learned this early, but I didn't learn it early, that I was an introvert. Now my husband and your husband, my son, are extroverts. And they want to do stuff all the time. Like it'll be like, it's Saturday. What you want to do? Oh, nothing.
Nothing. Like literally nothing.
I want to sit and read and watch a movie. I don't want to do anything. It's like, what are you doing? You know, I don't want to do anything. And so with that, both of our husbands have a rack of friends.
Yeah.
Now I know your husband, my son, he's like wanting to invite people over all the time. So how has that been?
I'm like, help.
Blink your eyes twice.
Help me. It's been good. I will say, disclaimer, I love all the people that we get to meet. So I'm blessed that he has friends that I like. Because that'd be a mess if I was like, don't tell, they can't come around no more.
Right.
So I love everybody that he invites. But it's funny, so an example is he invited some people for a game night on Sunday. And I asked him, how many people coming over? He said, and then he got up to like 15 to 20.
Oh my.
I said, we're not having this at our house. So we just been learning how to communicate and to give space. So he'll ask me now to say like, hey, can 50 people come over on Wednesday? And I'll say no. Or I'll say yeah, as long as we don't do nothing Monday and Tuesday. Right. Then I'll be ready for Wednesday.
Right.
It's been a learning.
Yeah, it's good. Now, a lot of times when people get married, like that first year, it's about navigating, through everything. But then I'm gonna tell you, hang in there because it'll settle down. You'll get in a groove. I learned this lesson from some women years ago. They're like, you Americans, they were having to be Indians, like from India. You Americans, you guys just give up too quick. And they were like just talking me through, like, hey, hang in there, because you get through this hump, and then it'll get better. So would you say your husband is your friend, do you think?
Yeah, we just had that conversation, and not to be corny, but we're like, you're my best friend. Which is a good thing. And he's, look at him calling right now. But yeah, we're like super close, and it's been really helpful to have him during the transition. I'm like, praise God, I'm with somebody that I love and like, and who's a friend. Because I don't know what I do. It's crazy.
It's funny too, because I'm like, people often ask, what's the secret to your success? And I'm like, I married my friend. Like, Elwood really is my friend, and I feel like I can talk to him about most things, and not to keep anything secret, but when I talk to him as if he's female, he don't get it. I don't get what you're saying, Or when I talk to him like this, go around the circle and get it, he'll get it. So that's why I think it's so important that not only are our husbands our friends, but we also have other female friends. Now, off camera, we're talking about, honestly, about how we feel about that. And I have some really good friends, and I have some ride and dies, but we don't talk every day. If I talk to them, like, we'll text every now and then, but if I talk to them on the phone, it'll be like I just spoke to them yesterday. If anything happens, though, I can pick up the phone and call them. And so I want to know, do you, Chat Tribe, do you have a friend like that? Do you have friends that you can call when you want to celebrate or when you want to grieve? It's so important. How about you, Shanell? Do you have friends that...
Yes, I think... I've learned, especially in the move, who is my friend and who wasn't my friend. And also who I love and who I love from a distance. So, yeah, definitely.
Well, it's hugely important. So I want to just give you a few things to think about. If you're in a situation where you're feeling lonely or depressed, or you're feeling like, I don't really have anyone. So I'm going to give you a few tips on how to get some friends. Shanell told me a funny story. You want to tell it again about being in the nail shop?
Oh, yeah. The topic of finding friends in a new state or a new environment. But I was at the nail shop getting my nails done, and there was this girl behind me, and I was like, she sounds really cool. So I turned around and I was like, what color nails you getting? And we like connected. She was like, girl, I'm getting red, everybody getting red, and we just started talking about it. And I was like, I want her to be my friend. So then she ended up like finishing up, and she paid. And the whole time I'm sitting there getting my nails done, like, go talk to her, go say something. So I did it, and then she left, and she ended up coming back. Because she forgot something. I was like, there's a chance, get up and go say something. Then I was like, no, just let it go. Let it go. But,
And I think that's how we all feel. You see somebody or, so I want to tell you, take initiative. So, I mean, not in a weird, goofy kind of way. You want to be my friend?
Right. I noticed you over there getting your nails.
Right. That sounds more like a date. Yeah, but take initiative and, just show yourself friendly, to people.
If you want to make friends, I think, because we just had this conversation too about being introverts, and, I'm satisfied with my circle.
Right.
You're satisfied with yours.
Yeah.
And so I guess the question I would turn to you, though, is how do you know, like, when you meet somebody new and you're like, I want to be their friend.
Yeah.
As an introvert, how do you know? And when do you take initiative?
Yeah. I had the same kind of story you had. There was a lady at church, and you know, of course, I've seen her around and stuff, and I was like, oh, you could just tell her personality, and I just nervously went up to her, and I was like, do you want to get some coffee? And she was like, sure, you know. But I guess I'm like you. I'm satisfied with my circle now. So I don't know. It could be like this. You have friends out here. They're friends. Yeah. And then you have friends in here. That's your circle. Like, you know, I don't know. That's a hard question. When do you know?
Because I'm like, if I meet somebody, I'm not immediately like, let's be friends. I'm like, you cool. So I'll talk to you next time I see you. Right. But I think, too, I've always been okay with being by myself. Yeah. But I know that I need friends, because there's been times, you know, even in my singleness where I was like, if I wanted to do something, I don't have anybody to call. Yeah. So at some point, I need friends. So I had to take initiative. But I think I've grown to a place where I'm like, I'm good now. Yeah. But that's after, like, drama with other people, like trying to make new friends and it not working out, and it just, you know, just a bunch of stuff. I think now that I'm in a safe place, where there's no drama or whatever, I'm like, I'm just stay right here. Right, you know? Right. You know, which brings us to this. A lot of times, you know, particularly women, they've been through some very dramatic things with other women, and so now they're like, nah, forget that. You know, and I mean, and you're probably listening to this like, nah, I don't need that. But I'm telling you, if the Bible talks about, you know, how can if one falls, there's someone there to pick you up, you know, and that's what we're talking about with friends. And your husband, if you're married, can be that for you, but it's nothing like having another female who can understand you. You know, you're going to sit and talk to your husband about having babies. I mean, they had a part but they don't get it, because they didn't have the baby. You did. So talking to another woman about what it's like, even though your experience will be different, what it's like to have a baby. Yeah. You know, they were like, they can relate to you. You know what I'm saying?
And coming up, Shanell talks about friends in her seasons.
My close friends came after I had an understanding of who I was. And even in the transition of like, oh, I'm not that person anymore. You know, there's some friends that stayed and some friends that stayed in the season that I was in.
The Chat and Chew Show will be back in a moment. But now, let's learn how to make vegan quesadillas.
I'm going through menopause. I'm sweating like I don't know what, and fanning. Of course, my husband's sympathetic, but I remember seeing this older lady. She wasn't even my friend. She's just a lady. And I was like, what do I do about this? And she gave me advice. So she could understand as another female what I was going through, you know. And I know what it's like to be hurt by other women, you know, and what that brings to you when you're trying to, you know, find friends and make new friends and stuff like that. That could be, you know, very difficult.
And then it's this, it's the seasonal friends. Yeah. Like sometimes you need, so the thought I had was, my close friends came after I had an understanding of who I was. And even in the transition of like, oh, I'm not that person anymore, you know, there's some friends that stayed and some friends that stayed in the season that I was in before. Ooh, that's good. So I think there is going to be a time where I need to bring in more friends because, you know, pretty soon I'm going to be a mom. I have no mother friend. Well, I guess that's a lie. I have mom friends. Sorry.
Like one's right here.
Sorry. I have mother friends. But as I transition to like new phases in my life, there's certain people in maybe this season that I won't be friends with in the next season.
Yeah.
But I've learned that the more I learn myself or the more I grow and the more I change, either the more friendships I have, the more I grow into new friendships, or the more I let go of old friendships. But it feels like it's transitional with life.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. But there, I have a good friend, Danisha, in fact. I've known her, over 20 years. Before she got married. She's been married almost 30 years now. But she's gone through seasons with me. She's that type of friend. Again, we don't talk every day, and you know, we're not in each other's face. In fact, we live in separate towns, but like if anything happens, she's the one I could call. Like if anything happens to me, to Elwood, she's the one I could call. And I think it's important that we have people in our lives like that. Jennie Allen just wrote a book, Find Your People. And in the book, she talks about, you know, how Americans are the only ones who don't live tribal. You know what I mean? Like all these other cultures, they live together. Grandma, grandfather, you know, aunts and uncles, and we're all right there. And so you have this sense of groundedness because you're around people who care about you. Doesn't mean you get along. Doesn't mean there's no drama, but at least you have that. But in America, we live so individualistic lives that, you know, we don't have anybody who knows us, you know. I think that's why it's important to go to church, go to a healthy church and join a small group because then you can get in a place where people know you, you know, and you know them and you live life together, you know.
I like that you said that because there's different levels of friendships. Because I may be friends with somebody I go to church with, but you probably not going to come to my house.
Right.
You know, there's different levels of friendship. And, you know, there's some people I keep arm's length. And some people I keep really close. And just learning the difference of who is who. And also just being okay with, I may only have like one or two people that I keep this close, you know? Because I don't think, you know, even we talked about it with you also being an introvert, how, you know, you were saying you have like a certain number of friends. But we were just on your birthday call and you had like 30, 40 people like, I love you, baby. Happy birthday. And I would sit up there tearing up like, it's so beautiful. But, you know, I think just because you may have one or two people who are close to you, it doesn't mean that like those are the only two people that love you or care about you. You know, and you were saying too, when you were sick, how all these people stepped up and like brought food and took care of you and stuff. You know, so I think like, I don't know if we put too much value in, you know, almost like high school where it's like, I gotta have 10 friends, you know, but I think overall just knowing who you are and being a good person sets you up to have good community no matter the level of friendship that you're in.
That's good. Yeah, so if you're out here and you're feeling lonely or alone, you know, I think it's hugely important that you find, like Jennie Allen says, your people, that you find your tribe. And I love what you just said. It could be people, it's different levels. It could be your tight inner circle, you know, your one or two, and then it could be your outer, and then it could be your outer, you know, that kind of thing. And I'm not talking about people on Facebook and Instagram, unless they're your good friends, you know what I mean? But being able to find that, it just brings so much value to your life. And then not just about what your friends do for you, but what you do for your friends, you know? I mean, are you the type of person that your friends could call and be like, come pick me up at the airport? Don't call me. No, I'm joking. I will call you an Uber.
I'll send you money for Uber.
Right.
If I got it like that.
You know, are you a friend that someone can call and be like, hey, guess what happened to me? You know, and you celebrate with them, not hate on them or try to compete with them, you know, but you can celebrate with them. Again, you know, you want friends, but are you being the type of friend that you want for someone too? You know, good. So anyway, that's our show. Thank you so much for hanging with us. And we try to release an episode once a week. And you can catch us on Instagram at The Chat and Chew Show or on YouTube. And follow us and like us and subscribe and all that good stuff. And Shanell, where can folks find you?
You can find me.
Why are you singing about it?
I'm on Instagram. I'm not doing nothing right now. But at Shanell McCoy Jones.
Yeah. And Shanell has a business that I think, what is the name of your business?
I have a business.
Got married, having a baby.
I got stuff going on. It's called Authentic Ground. So you can follow Authentic Ground at Authentic Ground on Instagram. And then I forgot, Kaylin and I have a podcast that will be dropping episodes sometime this year
called the
Nelly and Kay Show. So.
And it is hilarious. So again, thank you guys for joining us. We'll see you next time. Bye.
This episode is brought to you by the Chat and Chew Company, host Betty Jones, and co-host Roxanne Brew. Today's producer is Danisha Norwood Smith. Original theme music by Elwood Jones and Roxanne Brew.